Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Talkin' Art. Unfortunately, Tammy Cook has to work on her day job today. So, Tammy, we're thinking about you. We wish you were here with us. Um, but Debbie Ferrand has graciously agreed to step in as the co-host. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, y'all. I'm
And
gonna try.
also, y'all, and also with us is, and I'm sorry, I should have asked just in the green room, and we got talking about so many other things. Is artist Ron Snayberger, or is it Snayberger?
Snayberger, you had it right. Yes.
Okay, so with us is Ron Snayberger. Ron is a really exceptional engraver. He's been doing it for quite a number of years now, um, and he's also, I think what really drew me to Ron was his persistence, his dedication to his passion for his art. Um, And so, Ron, how long do you want to tell everybody how long you've been engraving and how you got into it?
I started engraving in 2002. I used to do woodworking shows, traveled the country demonstrating for tool companies. DeWalt Tools was the biggest one I worked for. And in 2002, I knew I couldn't continue anymore. And one of the carvers at the show showed me an article written by Ken Brown in Texas that he was teaching a class on how to engrave calligraphy and then go into the stores and engrave on fragrance bottles at events during the year. And I said, that's for me. I can sit down and I can do that. And didn't know calligraphy. He said you didn't have to. And I took him at his word. So I made an investment, went to Texas, spent 3 days, learned how to do it, and took his certification course where I had to do 14 lessons, turn them in, get critiqued on them, and then I was good enough that he gave me a certification that that I was a Ken Brown certified engraver. So that's how that started.
And what is your favorite medium? I don't know if you want to call it medium. What is your favorite material that you like to engrave?
Yeah, glass is my favorite, and metal is next. And I just love the surfaces. I love the effects you can get on it, and what you can do with it. And I love working with those two materials.
Well, I have to mention the wooden box that we were just discussing in the green room. It's on the trailer, and I thought it was absolutely stunning. Um, you want to tell us a little bit about the story behind the wooden box?
Story behind the wooden box. My wife and I, every year in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, they have what they call the Pennsylvania German Festival. It's 9 days, and it's all people who do the crafts from 100, 200 years ago, and you dress in costumes. So we had to have costumes made, and we spent 9 days at the show. We did it for 2 years, and I made Bible boxes. And the box that you saw was, I went to a sawmill and I got the wood, and I planed it down, sanded it, cut the dovetails, and made it like an old-fashioned German Bible box, and sold them at the fair. And I had some left over, and we didn't do the folk festival anymore. So I figured, I'm going to work with that, and I tried using the router on it to do some design work in, and totally messed it up. Instead of throwing it away, I saved it, brought it to Florida with us when we moved down. I found it in the garage one day, and I figured, with the tool I'm using for engraving, I think I can fix this. So I fixed it, put the designs on it, and turned it into a jewelry box for our neighbor's 18th birthday.
Aw.
That is very cool. You want to tell us some about what the designs on that mean?
What's that?
You want to tell us some about what the designs mean?
Oh, the designs. Okay.
Yeah.
On the front is her initials. On the side is there's two birds. They're called a distelfink in Pennsylvania German lore. And in the fields, um, the grain fields, the goldfinch, and they call them a thistlefinch, would come in, and I guess they'd eat the seeds off the plants. And so that was the Pennsylvania Dutch. They thought it was good luck when these birds came around. So they drew these, and it's called the distelfink. And if you have two of them together, that's going to bring you double luck. On the top of the box, there's some other birds, and I forget what all the meaning of the things are, but there's like 3 flowers coming out. And in the Pennsylvania German and their beliefs, that those 3 flowers that you see on the top, it's believed that it stands for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
That is also really cool.
And so I carved those into the top of the box, her initials on the front.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You kind of, I was afraid you froze there for a second. So I guess now, besides the fact I'm jealous of your weather, 80 degrees, come on.
Yep.
I'm jealous.
Well, I'm jealous. You're 40. So when did your health issues start, and how did that slow your artistic endeavors down?
My health issues started in the mid-90s. I was selling cars at the time and started with back pain and leg pain. Went to the local hospital and their pain management doctors there, and had MRIs done and CAT scans, and I have 2 herniated discs, 4 bulging discs, sciatica, stenosis, and arthritis from like L1 to L5. And I was getting a series of epidural steroid shots, and you can only have them once or twice a year, and so I didn't really want to keep taking those. So when we moved down to Florida, I found another doctor who dealt strictly with back pain and pain management. Oh, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I saw 3 surgeons in Pennsylvania. All of them told me that if they did any type of operation on my back, I would come out worse than when I went in. So they wouldn't operate. Back to Florida. Pain management doctor put a lead alongside my spine, connected to a little battery pack and a little computer. And I have a remote control that I can adjust the signal strength and move the signal around to kind of, it makes like a hammering. You can feel like a hammering or a machine gun. You can adjust it fast or slow, and that movement kind of blocks the pain message going to the brain, and it helps me deal with the pain. In 2008, the pain came back, and he put 2 titanium jacks between some vertebrae to spread them apart to give me relief on the nerves, which helped. And in 2010, it got worse, and I was more or less almost doubled up for most of the year in 2010 until August, when he put another jack in. And then I could finally get relief that I could lay down, and the pain would be mild enough that I could, I could handle it. And so that's what happened with the health issues. Oh, the latest one was in 2013. I had to go in for a hernia operation, and had to go back in the next day because my oxygen level had dropped down to 56, and they said I was about ready to turn blue. So they put me on oxygen. I got in touch with a pulmonologist, discovered I had sleep apnea and COPD along with asthma, and I use a CPAP machine at night, and that way it pumps the air and keeps my airways open so I don't keep waking up at night. And so now I get good restful sleep at night, but mainly the back pain is what caused me to stop doing the engraving. I used to go into the stores and engrave, and I couldn't sit any longer, so I had to stop doing that. And what keeps me going is I just love doing it. I love seeing the smiles on people's faces when I do a piece of work, and they look at it and they just hold it, and it just makes them feel good. And plus being dealing with other people and mingling with other people who are like-minded, it keeps me going, and that's why I do it.
Wow.
That is incredible. So Blair wants to know if anyone else is having issues with the feed. And Blair, if you're still watching, I'd love to hear what type issues you're having with the feed, because everything looks good on my end. How about for you, Debbie?
Well, that's why I was asking you if there was a problem with my connection, because you guys kept fading in and out with the sound and everything. So I didn't know if it was me or if it was Google.
Is it still happening?
Once in a while I catch it, yeah.
That's interesting. All right, Blair, so let me know what type of problems you're having.
Hi, Blair.
What has been your most challenging project that you've worked on?
The one that made me the most nervous, I was in Nordstrom, and the manager told me I was going to be getting this case to engrave. Not the case itself, but what was in it. It was a bottle of Angel perfume shipped over from Europe because you couldn't buy the size in the United States. He brought it out to me, and he waited till the gentleman that was buying it was there, and it was in a train case, padded. It was a $1,500 bottle of Angel perfume.
Oh my gosh.
And he wanted me to engrave. Now, the bottle of Angel, it has like wings on it, and he wanted me to engrave it along the wing going into it. I would have preferred another angle, but he's the customer, and if you make a mistake on glass, there is no correcting it. So there I am with a $1,500 bottle of fragrance and people all around me taking pictures. And I started, and I just kind of blocked them out. I engraved a little bit, and then I stopped and took a deep breath, rested, continued on, and got it all finished without a mistake.
That's really cool that you got it finished without a mistake, considering that it would, have to have another bottle shipped.
Yeah, he was happy, I was happy, and if there would have been a bar nearby, I think I would have went for a stiff drink. But that was the most challenging.
And I want to remind our viewers that we do have Comment Tracker open, so if anyone has any comments or questions for Ron, please go ahead and let us have them. Debbie, do you have any questions for Ron?
Well, I mean, you've obviously had to overcome a lot to maintain your art. If you had to give one piece of advice to somebody out there that's battling, health issues, what would it be?
Okay, here's what I would tell somebody getting started in doing anything. First of all, find something you have a passion for, that you love doing. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. If you have to go in the basement, in the attic, or whatever to hide from people, just get rid of the criticism and just do it.
Amen.
And because if they don't do it, they have no reason to criticize you and say you can't do it. You can do anything you want to. It just takes practice. I had no idea how to do calligraphy, either with a pencil, a pen, or whatever, and I started engraving calligraphy. And if I can do something, Anybody can do it. There's no magic to this other than learn from somebody. Find a mentor. Find somebody who is successful at doing what you want to do. Get in touch with them. People are open to helping you. You will be amazed at how much help people want to give you if you just ask. They're not going to volunteer, but if you ask, they will help you because they want to see you succeed and they want to pass on their knowledge that they have to keep the art going.
Now you have overcome so many obstacles, though, and you could have given up hope, and given up your art and all your practices, but you didn't. And I think that's where my question was going. If you had to tell somebody, who was in a situation similar to yours, what would that piece of advice be?
I would find the people who are doing what you want to do and get in contact with them. I'll tell you what, with Google Plus and the internet and communities, you can find anybody out there doing what you want to do, and get in touch with them. Ask them how they accomplish what they're doing. Why did they do it? It's just amazing what's out there, and because of the internet, it wasn't there when I started. It was just, basically coming into its own, and there was nothing like this, like doing a hangout on air where you could talk to somebody, or somebody could even show you something in a hangout, engrave something. I've done that already on a hangout where I engraved something and showed people how it was done. It's just amazing what you can do. And again, just don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. If you want to do it, do it.
Well, let's see. Tammy says she's still at work. We catch up later when I get home. We miss you, Tammy.
Sorry about that little visitor there.
I was going to ask you, Ness. Ron, is it okay if we take a break from discussing your artwork for just 1 second? I wanted to ask Debbie a quick question.
Oh, go right ahead.
How is the bicycle thing going for CJ?
We still need a lot of votes. A lot of votes. They've added 2 more bikes to his category, so there's a total of 6 bikes that they're giving away. But he's still like number 22 or 21, I think, on the list for the bike. So we need a lot more votes.
And how expensive are these bikes?
The bike that he's looking at probably runs anywhere from $1,500 up. They're expensive bicycles because they're adaptive bicycles. They're made for children with disabilities, so they have seat belts. They have specially designed seats so they can support their upper bodies where they don't have a lot of muscle tone. They've got weighted pedals on them, and they're just proportioned right for these types of children. And there's no way we could afford one. I've never even looked at the price, so I'm just guessing here. I just know they're really expensive. But so we're just going to keep trying. I mean, he has a 3-wheeler now, but it's not going to last very long.
Okay, so I'm going to tweak you to put the link in the comments when we're done, and see if we can't. Yeah, see if we can't generate some more votes. It only takes a vote. It only takes a second. I mean, literally, it only takes a second to vote. You go out, you click on Facebook, log in, and you vote. That's it.
And then I also encourage people, there's hundreds of children, and there's I think 6 different bicycles that they're giving away, and there's hundreds of children that could use some votes to win some of these bicycles. And the sponsors are just amazing with these organizations. So we do appreciate every bit of help the communities and the publics are doing for each one of these kids. So it's really awesome. It's awesome. So we just keep trying. Thank you.
You're welcome. So when I found out, Ron, that Tammy was going to not make it, I felt like Debbie was probably, out of all the other artists I knew and all the other people I could have called on as a co-host, I felt like Debbie was probably the best because she's, dealing with the child with a disability. She understands having to overcome problems in order to maintain her art career. So that's the reason I invited Debbie.
I have a lot of late nights. I was trying to figure out how to do the cheering that Tammy does so well, and I can't figure it out.
Oh, that is under special effects, my dear.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can figure it out. I'm trying, Tammy.
And then you just have to move around until you find the sounds. Yay, she found it! So not only do we talk about art, we also do some minor HOA training and everything else. So Ron, if you had one dream, one thing that you haven't accomplished yet that you want to, what would that be?
Oh, what would I want to do? Oh. In art or anything?
Anything in life.
Well, I'll never be able to, but I would love to learn how to fly an airplane. It was a goal from when I was a kid, and it's just oh, the other thing, I worked on race cars when I was from 18 till 25, 26, something like that. And I would love to drive a race car also. I did some drag racing, but I never drove a race car, a sprint car or a stock car. I would love to do that. I'd like to take 10 laps and just go for it. That's those two things I would love to do.
Well, I am unsure how come flying is out. Why you feel like you could never do that. I mean,
you have to use your feet, and because of the nerve damage, I've lost the feeling in the front of both of my feet.
Ouch.
So as a result of that, I use a walker to get around or a cane, depending on how the weather treats me. So.
No wonder you're in Florida in the nice warmth.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to handle it up in Pennsylvania. The way things are going up there, it just wouldn't work for me.
How about artistically? Is there something that you haven't done yet that you're still on your goal list to get done?
Yeah, about 6 months to a year ago, I got involved with sketching and with pencils, and I want to pursue that more, and I want to learn how to sketch and do my own designs and then engrave them or sandblast them on glass. I'll get to that one. That one's near term, so I know I'll get to that one.
Yeah, I have no doubt you're going to get to that one.
We would love to see some more of your work. You need to take some more pictures and post some more pictures of some of the amazing work that you do.
Well, I can do that, and in fact, I'm bad at that. I should have over the years I should have taken more photos of what I did, and I didn't. But I can do that, and I will post them, and I should be able to do it because for like 13 years, from 71 to 83. I had my own photography business, and I did wedding photography. I had my own darkroom where I processed and film and prints, and I did that and was successful at that also. So that kind of brings in some of the art, into the photography. So it's kind of been in my life for a long time.
A man of many talents.
Well, I'm finding out that
I try.
I find that artists tend to are multi-talented, and they're not afraid to try something new.
I think it has to do with the right side of the brain with us.
You think that's what it is?
We're right-brained people, from what I understand. Creative people are right-brained people.
Definitely. And we're almost out of time. I want to thank Ron again for being with us and for sharing all your, I mean, you dumped your whole life out here. Oh my gosh. And that's huge, and I really appreciate it. And I wanted to remind everyone, yay, she's got the sounds going. I wanted, pardon, Debbie?
So we had to give Ron an applause.
Yes, we
First thing
did.
to say, if anybody wants to on Google, if they, on Google Plus, if they want to get in touch with me, if, private message me or whatever, I'd be happy to answer their questions, or if they're, if they just want to find something out, get in touch with me. I'll be glad to help you out.
And he is amazing that way. He's, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked on the comment tracker. I missed this one. Blair says, really good advice, Ron. There's nothing we can't do if we really set our minds to it. And I totally, totally agree with that. And I believe that if I decided I wanted to go play basketball, I could do that with enough practice and enough training. But not that that's my passion at all. Debbie, thank you for stepping in.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to keep you on my list of possible available co-hosts.
Oh, absolutely, anytime. I love getting the experience. I still have a lot to learn, but it's definitely, I'm a tech geek, so I just love this stuff. So I'm happy to be getting my hands wet with it.
Well, and as you go forward with your HOA, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'd like to invite everyone to go to todaysvisions.com if you haven't already. Sign up for a free account, and if you post out there, I will. We send it out on Twitter, we send it out on Facebook, we send it out on Google Plus. Usually for about 2 weeks after you post something. So, and send it out twice a day. So free promotions, free website. What else could you want? Oh, and free training too. Ron, thank you again so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure, Ron. Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you, and
Nice to meet you.
Everybody out there, thanks for coming.
Yep, it was wonderful seeing y'all, and we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.